The sun glared overhead, reminding Mina why she dreaded Lord Clodion's summer hunting trips. He was almost obsessive in his desire to hunt dragons for sport, and he used Mina like a hound to sniff them out. Her life hadn't always been so exciting. Once she'd been a normal girl that worked the farm with her family, until they sold her to Lord Clodion. Those days seemed so long ago now. At least the memories no longer brought her to tears. She'd cried enough to last her the rest of her life, as far as she was concerned.
"Which way, girl?"
Mina's pace had slowed, prompting Lord Clodion's demand. She looked over her shoulder at him. He sat astride his black war-horse, his polished plate armour glinting in the sunlight. The visor of his helm was up, and he glared at her impatiently. To his right rode a group of his retainers, and on his left was Van, Clodion's squire. The retainers stared at her with a bored expression plastered on their faces, but Van looked excited. The squire was always thrilled when it came to dragon hunts. "This way," Mina replied. She continued trudging along the dunes, following the subtle pull she felt from the scale embedded in her leg. It infuriated her that Clodion forced her to walk, while he and his entourage got to ride horses. Certainly he knew it would be quicker if she were mounted, but then again, he probably did it just to spite her. Mina was Clodion's slave, and she knew it. Whether or not it was legal was another issue, but from what Mina had gathered so far in her young life, Dominion lords did whatever pleased them, so long as it didn't get them into trouble with the High Prince. She supposed it was a small blessing to belong to Clodion. There were rumours that other Dominion lords could be very abusive, violent even. While Clodion had never raised a hand toward her, he was manipulative and impetuous. Growing up amongst the wealthy and elite seemed to breed those qualities into people, though. Ahead, Mina spotted a tall mesa that rose several 100 feet above the surrounding landscape. The top was flat and the sides were steep and straight, as if some underground creature had pushed it directly up out of the ground. The rock formation was various shades of red, all intermingled, but that wasn't what caught Mina's attention. It was the shadowed cave entrance. She angled her steps towards the mountain, and the scale in her leg began to burn. It was only slightly uncomfortable, but once they got within a few 100 feet of the dragon, the pain would be excruciating. It happened every time, but that never stopped her. It wasn't the fear that Clodion would punish her that kept her from turning away. It was her hatred for dragons. They were the source of her misery, or rather one of them was. That didn't matter to Mina. The only good dragon was a dead one, and so she would continue to lead Lord Clodion on his hunts, with the hope that, one day, he would kill the beast whose scale made her life a nightmare. "It's there," Mina said, "inside the cave."
"You're certain?" Clodion asked. "It's not on top, preparing to swoop down on us?"
She turned to regard him. Clodion hadn't kept his title as Dominion Lord for no reason. He'd been born to the position, certainly, but that didn't guarantee someone the title for life. There was always some young upstart who wanted the power and fame for themselves, and Clodion's quick wits and suspicion had saved him from many assassination attempts. "I'm certain, my lord. The scale may be a curse, but it never lies."
"One man's curse is another man's godsend. You may not like your ability, girl, but your gift has increased my wealth fourfold."
That was another thing that bothered Mina. Lord Clodion always referred to her as girl, and never by her actual name. She supposed he did that out of spite as well. "You are entitled to your opinion, as am I, and I say it is a curse." Clodion laughed and slid off his mount, landing with a clatter as his plate mail jounced about. He unsheathed his sword from his waist belt and quickly looked it over, then returned it. He motioned to Van, and the squire also dismounted. Van carried a spear, but the weapon wasn't his. He hadn't earned the privilege of learning to fight yet.
"Wait for me out here,"
Clodion ordered, taking the spear from Van.
"I'll be back shortly."
Mina watched him disappear inside the cave. The retainers began talking among themselves, sharing gossip and discussing things that made Mina wish a dragon would swoop down on them. Whether it ate them or her didn't matter, so long as it put her out of her misery.